What's going on, gamers? DBM Gamer here, and what I would like to do is kind of do what I did in my previous two Rogues Gallery videos, just kind of go very in depth with them and give you some background on them. But before I can get into any of that, I've got to get to my shoutouts, and I have to show appreciation back to the community that has gotten me this far. And I gotta say, guys, I'm really feeling the love over here. I actually had my channel grow by a total of 25% of my total subscriptions in just one day. I know a lot of YouTubers talk about impressive numbers, but I'm just going to deal with percentages since I'm so much smaller than all of them. But yeah, 25% in one day. That's pretty impressive. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the shoutouts. I'm going to give shoutouts to Joshua Osabel, Sports with Robot, Volker Romich, Russell Stuver, Michael Randall, Alvaro Mora, Jacob Phillips, Adam Carmen, Tom Candrew 1986, and DJ Manji. Alright, so let's get to the topic at hand. The Vex are a machine race that are known to inhabit two areas of our solar system in Destiny. They're known to inhabit Mars and Venus. But what if I were to tell you they may possibly be in other areas of our solar system that have just not been mentioned yet? On Gamescom, if you went through their press kit, they gave you a couple of extra images to check out of Mercury. While examining Mercury, I just happened to notice how similar the architecture was to the Vex architecture. Now, I'm not saying that the Vex are here, or maybe the Vex possibly were here, but you look at the comparison of what you see on screen, tell me what you think. Now, the Vex themselves are a race of time travelers. Well, they're time-traveling robots. Well, they're not really any of those things. Now, your average Vex actually looks like this. Their heads are cone-shaped with a red dot at the center. I'm assuming that this is their eye. They arrive in the solar system via warp gates, likely from another time, either past or future. And their robotic bodies still carry a hint of organic components. Now, the Vex's individual bodies can range anywhere from being humanoid to really machine-like. From an early interview in the Game Informer, the interviewer actually, how would you deal with your average Vex? Bungie themselves admitted that headshots do not do much damage, but shooting their abdomen power cores can explode them. Now, the Vex seem to have several different foot soldiers, and this is coming straight from Bungie as the description of their class names. It boils down to you have the Goblin, which is the lowest rank structure for the Vex, and they tend to attack in swarms. And that's coming from sort of somewhat of a hive mentality, whereas they're also the hives seem to be computer driven, so they may have better coordinated attacks than your standard Fallen. Another small aspect of how they move around the field and can attack is that they also have the ability to kind of zip around and teleport. Now, next up on our list is the Hobgoblin. And no, this isn't the Hobgoblin from Spider-Man. This is a pretty nasty looking dude right here. Hobgoblins tend to be a bit larger in size and scale in comparison to your regular goblin, and they carry this nasty looking cannon. Now, other physical details of them is they appear to almost have horns across the top of their head and tails. Now, next up is the Minotaur. Minotaur are a type of Vex. They have large, broad shoulders and almost appear like they're something that came straight out of early Star Wars movies. This ring a bell, anybody? Straight from Bungie themselves in an early interview, they are known to be the protectors of the Vex portals and sectors. The Minotaurs stand out among the troops, leading their attack. Now, at some point, it seems like they had a color change with the Vex, and this is where I kind of picked up on this. It seems like at one point they were really going with a heavy green color theme for the Vex. If you look at this image here of the hunter hiding in the bushes with his sniper rifle while the Vex and the Fallen that are on Venus walk around him, you notice how they themed out all of the eyes of the enemies in green. I don't know if that was potentially a color change or what, but it's kind of for the best because it'd be really monotone if everything on Venus was green. Now, one of the non-humanoid looking Vex is known as the Harpy. In an early article in Game Informer, they noted that the Harpies are a type of Vex. They fly rapidly in and out of combat, occasionally pausing to open up their shells and reveal a writhing mass of filaments before they begin firing. Now lastly, I want to discuss the Hydra. I actually had someone that asked me did I have any imagery whatsoever on the Hydra, and it turns out I do. There's not much floating around on the web about this class, but I managed to dig up this for you. Hydras are supposed to be a type of Vex. They're segmented machines that float through the air and attack. Each segment actually has its own turret. So it's fighting one of these things is going to be like fighting 3 things at once. And these robotic centipede fire those turrets as they wiggle through the air. They also have a defensive shield that seems to circle around them. The rumor is, and especially based on what sort of imagery I could find, seems like the shield always faces the one person that's fighting it. So this may be something that you want to tackle with a fire team. Now the last Vex that I want to talk about actually isn't going to be a normal class that you would see running around on the map. This one is special. This one is known as Zydron, the Gate Lord. This is a boss that seems like he's based on the Minotaur, but he has a bit more size, it seems. Now a bit of story filler for you. It was leaked about 2 months ago that one of the possible missions that you may have to go on would be for the Queen of the Reef. And what does the Queen of the Reef want? Oh, well, she only wants the eye of the Gate Lord, which means you're going to hack this mofo to pieces just to get his eyeball. Why does the Queen of the Reef want its eyeball? It has something to do with this area here. This area is what everybody's assuming is known as the Black Garden. But surprising fact, you look at this, this is actually not on Venus. This is actually located on Mars. In an early tweet, Irk, the former Bungie community manager, someone had asked him, hey, this is pretty cool, where is this located at? Turns out, he says it's on Mars. It's actually not even on Venus. Now, I don't know if he's trolling us or what, but it might explain why the Cabal and the Vex are at war on Mars. Well, all I gotta say about that is this, guys. I can't wait to break out my Warlock on these guys. My custom-made Warlock. What? You mean we can't have beards in Destiny? Somebody call Bungie. I want a beard. Alright guys, well that's all I got. If you enjoy this type of content, please feel free to drop a like or a comment, or if you just want to see more of it, just hit that subscribe button. But as always guys, have a good one.